In 1936, the federal government made a plan to get rid of all of the flooding that plagued the Willamette Valley. They were going to build a series of dams. And so Dorena Dam was planned, and unfortunately that meant that the entire town of Dorena had to move. They were supposed to build the dam in 1939, but because of World War II they had to postpone it and weren't actually able to start construction until 1946. In 1947, the entire town had to disperse. Some of it, like the Dorena Grange, went downriver, and then the entire town of Dorena hopped over a couple of other little villages like Star and Holly to settle where it is now. This is the town of Dorena, taken in 1945.
Okay. Now this was the last day the post office was open in 1947.
Rose Twain was the postmaster, and Ruth Stewart was her substitute. And then Rose retired right after this, and Ruth became postmaster. Ruth told me that she ran the post office during the construction of the dam, and that she had 500 men getting mail in general delivery, and that it was a very, very busy time. And Ruth ran it when it was in the little village that they built, kind of where the Tree Improvement Center is now. They built a little village to house the workers, and they put the post office there temporarily, and Ruth ran it there, and then the post office moved to what was then Humphrey's store, up close to where it is now.
Oh, okay.
It was Kirk's Mercantile was the last time it was a store. They built a little village for the workers on the dam that had the post office, a store, a barber shop, a cafe, and lots of trailers and little cabins for the workers to live in.
And what did they do? They just tore it all down?
Tore it all down after the dam was... You know, they were building a lot of dams at that time, and I think they just tore a lot of that stuff down and moved it.
Now you said there was 90-some...
92, I believe.
92 properties that they had to buy.
92 properties that they had to buy.
And the most expensive one was the lumber mill, which they paid $200,000 for.
The mill was there, the depot was there,
dwelling. Somebody's house.
The store was there, dance hall, later Grange, and church was there. Okay.
And then it tells you that there was a hotel. The schools are about 150 yards east of this photo.
Oh, okay. And they had a high school too, huh?
Yeah, they had a high school till 1936.
Oh. So this is the Dorena School.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a lot of people there. Do you know what the population was?
Oh, it was a couple hundred.
200 or somewhere around there?
200 or so.
Okay. This is the same school, just
Same
a different
school,
year.
different year.
Okay. Now this was taken in the 1930s?
And this is Van Valen's Dairy, which was down in the old town of Dorena. You can see Cerro Gordo Mountain in the background.
Oh, yes. Just, that's where the dam would be down at the end of there.
Yeah, down at the end there.
Okay. Now this is taken from the mill.
Taken from the mill.
That's the church that was in that other picture.
Yeah.
And the town would be back this way.
Town would be to the right, I think.
Oh, the other way.
Yeah, kind of this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the England farm at the base of Cerro Gordo, 1925.
You're looking out over the town, and there's the mill right there. You can see the mill smokestack there, and that could even be the train there. And you can just see the town there a little bit.
Okay.
They're not the same size, unfortunately, but that is the whole picture in parts of this big do in town when they were having this rally because the school was the first in the district to be standardized. The fun thing about this one is there's Opal Whiteley.
Oh, let me get a close up.
So you can
that's Opal White.
That's Opal right there.
Oh, okay.
And so this was taken in 1914.
This is where after they cleared the town out,
yeah, this is basically the lake bed here. Mm-hmm. Everything's been scraped out. They're building the dam. In this little area is the village that they built to house all of the workers. And I'm trying to think if you can...
temporary town.
Yeah, it was the temporary town. And I think the dam site is right through here. And you can see the river ran down this side, and they had to divert it over here to the
This
dam.
is after everything was cleared
This is
out.
after everything was cleared out.
And they burned everything
They
else.
burned everything out.
I was born in 1933. We moved there in 1935.
To Dorena.
Yes.
Okay.
Or the Dorena area. It was kind of, it wasn't a town, as you think of as a town, that it was a few houses strung along this side of the road and a few on this side of the road, and then you'd maybe come to a service station and a grocery store
Oh, okay.
and that type of thing. But it was scattered up the Row River Road was the name of the road going up through the middle of that area. And I lived in lower Dorena, down below where the school is. I was probably maybe in the second grade when we moved there.
Did you go to school there in
I went to
Dorena?
school at Dorena from my first grade year through my fifth grade year. And at that time they were going to be putting in the dam and the reservoir, which was 1944, that they were going to do that. But the war took effect during that time, and we were unable to, they were unable to complete the dam, and so they postponed the dam until later. Anyway, I went from first grade and second grade, that was in one room, and then the third, fourth, and fifth, we moved to another room. There was the 3 grades were taught in one classroom, and then in a separate building, there was the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students were in that. Had a gym, outdoor gymnasium that was really, I think it had a big slab of concrete, as I sort of remember it, but it was really a neat place. You had, and some playground equipment. I think there were some swings and a slide, a big slipper slide we called it. And the teachers during those years were Frances French, Mildred Smith, and Horace Hawker Steele.
Got a good memory. I can't remember any of my teachers.
Oh well, they were really good teachers. All 3 of them, as I remember them, went above and beyond the call of just being our teacher.
In what way?
Well, I can remember Horace gathering up a carload of kids, and she'd get a carload. Couldn't do it nowadays. I mean, we would sit on each other's laps. There would be 6 people, and little kids don't take up a lot of room, and take us to a movie in Cottage Grove.
Oh.
That was a pretty good deal back in those days to get to do something like that. And they were just almost like family. We lived very close to Mildred and Francis. Summertime we could call them by their first name because they were our neighbors. But when we were in school, we called them Miss French and Miss Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was what did you say? There was a mill and a grocery store and a gas station?
The gas station was part of the grocery store, just a pump, outside. I liked the freedom I had in growing up. I was on every hill and on every riverbank and lots of interesting things up there. I would go with my sister, who was 2 years older than I. We hiked all over that place. I mean, several miles area. And we could do that and do it safely. because there just wasn't the horrible things happening, or we didn't know of anything happening anyway. But I can remember even going camping with just 5 of us. And the oldest one was a young lady by the name of Dolores Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably no more than 4 years older than I, and she took 5 of us out camping. It was supposed to have been a 2-night deal, just down the riverbank. We weren't very far from our farm. But anyway, during the night I got ill and she walked home with me by starlight, I guess, because I don't think we had a flashlight. I don't remember having any kind of a flashlight. It was wonderful.
You're only eight years older than I am, but I remember in Cresswell, we could go on vacation. We left our house unlocked.
I don't know my folks ever locked a house. I remember when we moved to town, they would lock it up, but I don't think we ever locked a door when we were there.